Shalom Israel. All praise to the Most High Yahweh and His Son the Messiah. Well, I see that George Floyd's murder trial is over with, and his murderer Derek Chauvin was found guilty of the crime. Which in hindsight don't mean a goddamn thing right now, because you are looking at a crime scene of a 15-year-old black girl shot and killed by a police officer in Ohio, the same day of George Floyd's killer is found guilty of his murder. The Most High Yahweh is handling his business with you lost Jakes and Eves, meaning you blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians out there. The Most High Yahweh is going to keep showing you daily that you should not be mixing with your enemies, and I think He is allowing your enemies to send your spirits back to Him. I am about to show you in multiple incidents from different stories that it is in these people's DNA that they hate you. All these different stories I am about to show you happened in the past 45 days. And if you see with this latest police shooting of this 15-year-old black girl by a Caucasian police officer, these assaults on black people are not going to stop until you Jakes and Eves separate from these people for good. Yahweh is going to continue having these cave dwellers keep doing His bidding to fulfill His prophecies, and one of them is to keep allowing these Caucasians to snatch the life out your chest, and send your rebellious and stiff-necked souls back to the spirit world. So repent and come back to the Most High Yahweh through His Son the Messiah, who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Come back to be saved from being a victim of a senseless murder like this 15-year-old black child or George Floyd.
No!
What's going on? I lied. What? I lied. Saving for the paper.
Number of students in Aledo ISD are facing disciplinary action this evening. They're accused of creating an online slave auction, if you will, featuring black classmates. All new at 5 o'clock, Brooke Rogers taking a look at the investigation and what some residents say needs to happen next.
Aledo ISD says it learned of an incident with students from the Daniel 9th grade campus involving racial harassment and cyberbullying. Sources tell CBS 11 it was in the form of an online, quote, slave auction, in which students pretended to sell their black classmates for $1 to $100.
My thought was, here we go having to deal with this again.
Eddie Burnett, president of the Parker County NAACP, says he knows what the victims are going through.
It makes you feel a sense of powerlessness and worthlessness.
Aledo ISD says it launched an immediate and thorough investigation involving the district's police department. The case is still pending, but the students did receive disciplinary consequences. The district also said there is no room for racism or hatred in the Aledo ISD, period. Using inappropriate, offensive, and racially charged language and conduct is completely unacceptable and is prohibited by district policy.
I think kids make mistakes. And I think sometimes those mistakes get highlighted, and that's how we learn.
Christina Donnelly, whose children attended Aledo High School, hopes this can be a teachable moment.
I think that the school can come up with some long-lasting and far-reaching solutions that will ensure this won't happen again.
The district says it is focused on just that. Burnett says education and conversation are critical, especially because he says this isn't the first time Aledo students have been bullied for their race.
If people are having a mock slave trade or slave auction, then they have received information that this is okay. We have a problem. We have a problem. We have a problem.
Blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians, your Caucasian slave masters here in America, I think they really hate you with an everlasting perpetual hate. I think they really do not want you to exist any longer on this planet. Are you understanding what I am saying to you right now? Nah, I doubt it, because I see you make the same mistakes over and over daily, you trying to make Esau love you, which will never happen. DMX unfortunately found out the hard way that his slave masters thought he is worth more dead than alive. but from a self-help drug overdose, that will be a negative from my understanding on how these wicked Satanists work. Let me give you a couple of recent examples on why I think the Caucasians in America despise blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians. A daughter of Zion out in Cleveland, Ohio about a month ago had to witness her beloved children being struck and cursed by the children's Caucasian daycare worker on camera. What I witness in the video is very disturbing, but very telling.
Mother is furious tonight after she witnessed someone she thought she could trust abusing her 2 children. A Cleveland daycare worker caught on camera, hitting, yelling, pushing them. We're not showing the violent moments yet because they are so disturbing. That worker is in the Cuyahoga County Jail tonight as police investigate.
And only on News 5, our Jesse Schultz spoke to the mother about what she saw. And we want to warn you, some of the video is tough to watch.
Tuesday morning started out like any other for Marquisha Wilson. Around 11, she dropped her 4 kids off at Amos, the home daycare provider she's used since 2018.
My kids typically go 5 days a week.
It was not even 20 minutes after she left, her oldest daughter, 10-year-old Dontasia, texted her.
And I'm like, oh, it's a video. And I click on it.
It's a video that we want to warn you is tough to watch. It shows her 3-year-old daughter getting cursed at, yelled at, slapped, and pinched by a worker at Amos. The little girl's wails audible. The video then shows the worker call over Wilson's 6-year-old son. She swears at him, hits him in the head, and strangles and threatens him.
I couldn't even believe what I was watching. Like, instantly, I didn't even go into work. I just cut my car back on and got back on the freeway like, I'm going to get my kids.
After picking up her kids, who are okay, Wilson immediately went to Cleveland police. She said she knows who the woman in the video is. We're not naming her because she has not been formally charged yet. There is an active arrest warrant for the woman that details the incident. I went to the daycare on 5001 Burger Street for comment, but no one opened the door. Amos is a licensed home provider with the state. The last inspection was in October. According to the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services, there have been no serious risks of noncompliance. Wilson said she's never had any problems before, which is why she feels so betrayed.
I brought y'all to this daycare thinking that it was somewhere safe for y'all to be. I trusted these people for years, and to think that they would do something like this.
Wilson says she's proud of her 10-year-old, who pretended to be on TikTok while taking the video.
See, I'm trying out TikTok filters. These are ugly.
And I told her that multiple times. Thank you for having the courage to tape it and send it to me immediately.
Now, as ODJFS investigates the daycare and child endangerment violations, Wilson is holding her kids a bit tighter.
I don't trust anybody with my kids. Like, if it's not their dad or one of my family members, they won't be in a daycare.
If you are a black mother or father and you witnessed your child being struck in the head and seeing them getting choked out, and the assailant has not been charged for their obvious crimes, how would you handle that situation? This is a good example that the police department and district attorney of Cleveland, Ohio hate black people, right? And who runs that city? Not black people. As of today, black people have been labeled by the media as abusers of Asian people in America, which is a bold-faced lie. But this mother of 4 cannot get justice for her children being abused by a Caucasian woman on camera who is getting paid by the state to protect children. Something is very wrong with this scenario. Let me throw another story at you similar to what you just witnessed. A story involving innocent black children under the state's care being victimized by an adult Caucasian person who's supposed to be protecting them.
New at 11, allegations of racism at a local daycare, an image appearing to show white students being fed first while black children wait to eat. Thanks for joining us. I'm Karen Greer.
And I'm Rick Volbaum. And tonight, the parent company is taking action, severing ties with the daycare amid the controversy. All of this happening at Kids Are Kids Learning Academy near downtown Roswell.
CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy's live there tonight after speaking exclusively to the company president and a child's father. Jamie, what did you learn?
Well, Karen, I was able to speak to all parties involved in this. Now, this has all happened in less than 24 hours for this daycare centre, which consequently from all of this has now been sent adrift from the franchise. Accusations of racism at a Roswell daycare explode online.
They were skipping all of the black kids, it seemed like.
A family says they saw it happen while checking in on their 2-year-old through a video live stream for the Kids Are Kids Roswell location.
All the white kids got their lunch and all the black kids had to wait.
So the stunned family took a screenshot.
From the videos and the pictures that we saw today, I mean, we are just completely disturbed.
And went straight to the daycare to confront the staff.
Mom went and picked them up immediately. And the director said, I'm not really sure because I'm not in the classroom. She said maybe it's a dietary thing.
The family doesn't buy that. They shared the story and snapshot online, igniting a social media firestorm.
I wish that everybody would be able to see the video in its entirety first and not just the snapshot.
David Vincent says he's viewed the entire video in question. His company issued the family an apology and says they will use the incident as a training tool.
We wanted to make sure that our families know that this is not what we are about.
After talking to the daycare owner today, the company is severing ties with the Roswell branch.
Perception, unfortunately, is reality. And with the cancel culture, I mean, unfortunately, it's the perception.
As for the daycare, saying in a statement, we know the act was random and the photo doesn't show the entire room. We believe if the parents viewed the videos, they would understand. I wish they could see the compassion we have.
Are we looking at the same snapshot? It looks like 3 black children have no food in front of them, but all the white kids around them are stuffing their face. Do you see the witchcraft they use with their fork tongue? The CEO of the daycare is trying to convince the public that what they viewed in that photo is not what they witnessed. Your mind is playing tricks on you is what he is saying. He is the devil the Bible speaks of, is my response to that practice of witchcraft. If you are a black father or mother, and you saw this act of racism presented to your 5 or 6-year-old child, how would you respond to this? Well, your response should be to separate yourself from the people who show you daily they do not care for you. But the question is, did that last story convince you that your slave masters do not love you? If not, let me present one more to show proof of my claims.
School teacher's racist outburst against a student and parent. Caught on a Zoom call, the teacher apparently thought she had hung up. Now there's a recording and a lawsuit. ABC's Zareen Shah joins us from Los Angeles with more. Zareen, good morning.
Good morning. With the family's lawyer says, like so many single moms, this mother was just trying to make ends meet. She had to cut off Wi-Fi and cable right before the pandemic, and then they struggled to get a school-issued hotspot to work. So she talked to the teacher about her son catching up and then accidentally catches the teacher going off on a racist outburst. This morning, a Southern California community outraged after a 6th grade teacher's racist outburst.
I mean, these parents, that's what kind of piece of they're black. He's black.
A Palmdale teacher finishing Zooming with a parent back in January when it appears the teacher did not end the call and sounded off about the mom.
Your son has learned to lie to everybody and make excuses because you taught him to make excuses that nothing is his fault. This is what black people do. This is what black people do.
While the mom recorded, the family's lawyer saying the son was listening.
This young man is seen visibly crying and upset when this teacher made the comment about how kids like him are raised to lie and to make up excuses. He's visibly seen crying on screen and running out the door.
The teacher resigning. The lawyer says the meeting was about getting the son up to speed in his science class.
He was an honors student before the pandemic, and once the transition to online happened, he had a lot of trouble accessing the Zoom platform because of internet issues.
This is not the first racist school Zoom outburst. Georgetown law professor Sandra Sellers recently firing off derogatory remarks about black students to another professor.
Get some really good ones, but there are also usually some that are just plain at the bottom. It drives me crazy.
Georgetown firing Sellers and promising change. As for Palmdale School District, they say they do not tolerate racial discrimination, but the family filing a claim against the district.
Every time from now on that this child and this mother have an issue at school, whether it's this school or any other school, they will think twice about going to anyone and asking for help.
I mean, these parents, that's what kind of pieces of shit they are. Black, he's black. Those are the words of a Caucasian public school teacher in California, which that black child is under the care of at a school funded by the government of California. Are you seeing the pattern I am showing you? All three of these racist acts coming from people who work for your government, who you trust and believe in oh so dearly. These children supposed to be protected under the law as a student in each state, but they are being treated like slave children from the 1820s down in Mississippi. There are many more stories I can show you that will not get national attention, but my time is limited. All three stories happened within 30 days of each other, telling me, there's a hatred epidemic going on in America of black people, not a virus. All other heathen nations in America are getting bombarded with negative images of black people the past couple of years, which I feel gives Caucasians justification to bring out their hatred for black people. Donald Trump didn't make it any better with his negative portraits of black people while in office. But the Donald and the government is the least of black people's problems. It is you white civilians black people have to be very cautious about in the year 2021. Let us witness another well-planned psyop your government most likely had their hands in to belittle and embarrass black people. Let's peep out these couple of videos and I'll give you my assessment of what we just watched.
Go away right now. Call the police.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting. You know what? Maybe you should hang on a little longer. We'll see how it goes. Then we won't have to get the report by ourselves.
What is it you're doing here? Walking.
Then
walk.
out.
Okay, that's what I was doing. Came out of house, so ran
Well, you've been here like 15 minutes now.
Let's go. Walk away.
Keep walking.
Walk away. I already walked away. Walk away right now. You need help? You got this one, Tony. I'm happy to help you. I didn't hit you. There's a difference between
Pretty
pushing
sure
you.
you were the aggressor, buddy.
You're aggressive on their neighborhood.
Someone came running up. Walk back.
You better walk away. You walk away.
Walk back.
You better walk away. You walk away.
Walk back.
You better walk away. You walk away. You talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
I didn't do
Walk
anything.
away.
Your wife to speak.
Check it out. You do walk away or I'm going to carry your ass out of here.
Dude,
What do you want to do?
You better not touch me.
Or what? What are you going to do?
You up on me.
Let's go. Walk away.
I didn't do anything.
I'm about to do something to you. You better start walking.
I didn't do anything to her.
You better start walking right now.
You come after me like that?
I ain't coming after you. You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Get out. Get out. Where? Where's your house? What's your address?
Maybe we should walk you home. Walk me home.
Well, you want to bet what I can do?
I live here, sir. Okay,
right
what's
now,
your
you are
address?
harassing the neighborhood.
I'm not harassing anyone walking through the neighborhood I live in, sir.
Where? But check it out. We are a tight-knit community.
Okay.
We
How
take
long
care
have
of
you
each
been
other.
here? How long have you
A hell of a
been
lot
living
longer than your ass, because I have never seen you before in my
How long
life.
have you been living here? That's
Why
none
does
of
that
your
even
business.
matter to you?
How long have you been
It
living
doesn't
here?
matter. You know what? Get the hell out of my face.
You've been
Get out of my
living here.
face.
You walked up to me.
Check it out, motherfucker. I ain't playing with you. You either get your ass moving or I'm going to move you.
You smell drunk.
You want to bet?
You are drunk.
I'm about to show you what I can do.
New developments tonight as we learn more about a murder-suicide that happened over the weekend. A mother, friend, and former athlete shot and killed her son, now without either parent. ABC 15's Nicole Grigg learns more about who she was and why advocates believe this is likely a situation of domestic violence.
Molly Lillard was her married name, but known to most by her maiden name as Molly Toon.
I was just having so much fun, and I think that comes from the team.
That was Toon in 2012 while playing for the Michigan Wolverines, a standout volleyball star on the court, and she's the daughter of New York Jets legend Al Toon. Tragically, over the weekend, police tape taking over a Scottsdale neighborhood from an apparent murder-suicide. Police say Toon was found in front of the house with gunshot wounds. Her husband barricaded himself inside the home before authorities finding him dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police not releasing any more details or why.
Usually women in abuse situations are very isolated. They don't reach out.
It's unclear what was happening inside the home, but domestic violence advocates with Hope Women's Center say isolation this past year has led to an increase of help calls. Another nonprofit tracking domestic violence deaths each year of both men and women, the Arizona Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence, finding in 2019 there were 96 deaths. In 2020, that number went up to 102 deaths. And as of March 31st, there have been 20 deaths this year.
Any woman can walk into any of our 5 locations and come in, and because ours does not specify.
Jonathan Pentland, a 42-year-old Caucasian Army sergeant who resides in South Carolina, is the devil the Bible speaks of. Well, Jonathan and his wife felt on April 14, 2021 to play the role of vigilante in their neighborhood because another Caucasian white woman screamed rape in the middle of the street. A young black man who I believe goes by the name DeAndre was in the area, so Army Sergeant Pentland and his wife approached him and started to harass the young man. You witnessed Sergeant Pentland shoved the young black man and curse him, including threatening him. No matter if I think this is a real story or a psyop, it is still of the Most High Yahweh allowing these racist acts to take place to keep trying to show black people, these people who ancestors had your ancestors in slavery just over 155 years ago, which is not a long time, they do not love you just like their great-great-grandpa Billy back in 1845. Who was on his porch in Kentucky whipping your great-great-grandpa Dion back with a whip demanding his glass of lemonade be refilled properly. Nothing has changed in over 500 years of this treatment of blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians in America. Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5 says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." Let us look up the word perpetual in the Webster Dictionary to get a full understanding. What is the definition? Perpetual. Never ending or changing. Synonyms: everlasting, eternal, perennial, constant and permanent. Do you get the point now? Their dislike of you will never leave their souls. This is why you seeing so much negativity towards so-called blacks from so-called whites. If you have time, I have more examples that keep coming daily even as I construct this video. But let's real quick see who murdered Al Toon's daughter, Molly Lillard, in Scottsdale, Arizona, because they never showed his face during that news segment. Was you expecting anything different? Yes, Molly Lillard was murdered by a so-called white man who felt to take her life right before he took his own. Molly Lillard was so much in love with her husband, she married him. Little did she know, she was making a pact with the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. Unfortunately, she had to learn the hard way. Here is the last of my evidence showing how these people really feel about blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians in America.
Shit list. And you're on my shit list. And if you think I'm gonna have a fucking nigger tell me he's not moving off my driveway, you can't use that language. I can use the word nigger all goddamn motherfucking
You're
day long.
harassing us now. You're harassing us.
No, really? Did I touch him? Did I assault him? Did I hurt him?
Yes, that's an insulting word.
Fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. Good, the cops are coming. Tell them I called y'all niggers. What the fuck ever. I didn't call y'all niggers. I called that fat ass.
You cannot say that. I will move this truck right now for your trailer.
I can't say nigger. Please bring it to me in writing.
I will move the truck right now. Do you need it now moved?
He's sitting in a store. He can't even come here. Since 8:05, he
All
can't
you
pull
have
to
to
my
do is
house.
say, Shelly, move it, and we need the trailer to come in.
I tried to talk to you. Did I not
You
tell
told me about my
a while
fence.
ago, did I not tell you, have her go to the house so I can talk to you peacefully? Did I not say that?
You told her to go
Did I
away. You were
not
rude
tell
to
you
my mom, and then you
Fuck your
started
mom.
talking about
Fuck
my
your mom.
fence.
Proverbs chapter 11 verse 21, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." For all you blacks, Hispanics and Native Indians who wish to continue joining hands with their slave masters, and think by them being very nice to you they will not escape the Most High Yahweh's wrath when their time comes, I hate to tell you, they will be burned and turned into ashes. Isaiah chapter 13 verse 15, "Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword." So there you go, it says it right in the Holy Scriptures. If you are found joined with your enemies when the Messiah returned to handle business, then be prepared to fall by the sword alongside with them and perish. It is inevitable. Well, I hope I was able to edify you and make you understand that when you disobey the Most High, Be prepared to meet your faith unless you repent and start installing your bricks to rebuild the house of Israel. Time is definitely running out, and your grace period is almost over. Shalom.